Testing 1 2, testing 1 2. Can you hear me loud and clear? Hello, hello, hello. Have I messed it up? Can you hear me? Type 1 in the chat if you can hear me. Testing 1 2, testing 1 2. Okay, sweet. What's up, boys? Oh, we got a fair amount of people in here. Sweet. I'm just testing live streaming right now just to see how it is. I just wanted a bit more like immediate feedback for when I'm recording. Like when I record a video, it just feels so unnatural because I press record and I'm speaking to a camera. I'm not speaking to anyone. I was gonna go record a video outside. I started recording it, and then I just started to I just didn't like the feeling of it. And then I just thought, you know what? If I did something like live streaming and I had like actually you that I'm speaking to right now, I think I just prefer way more of this like conversational style. Let me just show you where we're at. We got bare people saying that their lives have been changed. Type 1 in the chat if your life has been changed by self-improvement. Let me put 1 as well because mine has. And type 2 if you're yet to really change your life, but you're making some progress there. I'm in Bali right now. See that little apartment we're staying in for a few days. How's the Prinash is up at 4:20, about to go for a run. Nice, man. What kind of self-improvement habits are we going to do today, boys? This is the first day back onto like my grind mode. Last like 3 weeks I've been traveling around Bali, and I've had fun. I've been with friends. I've been eating good food and stuff. But like my self-improvement, my work habits have really fallen off. So this is the first day I'm back to it. I woke up at 4:30 a.m. I've been writing recently for like about 1.5 hours this morning. I wrote a couple of tweets. Someone, if you can like link my Twitter, if anyone knows it, someone could link it, because I think I've not really shared my Twitter a lot, but I'm using it a lot more, and I'm writing like self-improvement guides and everything on it. So you might end up actually liking that. Beard's looking good. Thank you, bro. Okay, so I just thought I'd put like a random title for this one. So top 3 books that made girls like me. Does anyone know what the first book I'm gonna say is? Let me know. What's like the most obvious book that I'd speak about when it comes to dating? Yep, The Way of the Superior Man. If you know me well, you know that that's the first book I'd speak about. So the book, The Way of the Superior Man by David Data, is, in my opinion, the most useful book that I've read so far. It's been like the guidebook to my life, where I've been able to go back to these pages 50, 100 times to get some kind of like guidance to make decisions and how I'm feeling. It's essentially the book that explains to you what masculine and feminine energy is, and it makes you understand exactly how like a man like yourself should operate in a lot of circumstances, like when you've got a girlfriend and she wants to spend too much time with you, or when you feel like you're slacking, when you feel like you've got no life direction. I've made there's a full guide that I've made, so if you're interested in this and you've heard me speak about The Way of the Superior Man, and you see these comments, if you just go onto YouTube and you search Hamza, The Way of the Superior Man, I did a full guide to it. Now that was about a year ago, which I've learned a lot since then, so obviously it's almost like an outdated video, but I'd still explained it, I think, in quite a good way. So if you're interested in The Way of the Superior Man, just go and watch that video. But there's a few that I wanted to speak about, which I've never really made videos about. Someone asked, do you agree with the whole book? In general, yeah. I think it takes a lot of rereading to get to the point where you understand the book completely. And especially if you're like a young guy, if you're kind of new to your self-improvement journey, then a lot of it will actually just seem super complicated, vague, wrong, incorrect. I'd ask like, who was it who just said like, do you agree with the whole book? Because I'm assuming you kind of mean like you don't. I'd ask right now, maybe, what is it about the book that you don't agree with? I do, but it's too much about love. That's what Zeus just said. I don't think so. I think when you go down like the spiritual path, it seems to me like every spiritual teacher says the same thing, that we are beings of light and of love. This is like a kind of understanding of the world that we aren't at. Like, let's say we're like kind of understanding spirituality at like the smallest level. These people who have really realized their freedom as men, who have leveled up their spiritual lives more than we can comprehend. They keep saying the same thing, even though they're very different people from different parts of the world. They always say that you can like love a woman into light, that we are beings of light and of love. So I don't think that there's a book that's like too much about love. I'd say that's because your mindset is too little about love, because you've probably got into like sigma male grind set, I don't need girls kind of vibe. Just type one in the chat. Is anyone there right now? Like, is anyone in that kind of mindset of like sigma male? I don't need girls. I'm just gonna focus on myself, king. I make money. I go to the gym. Girls aren't important or anything. Because I wouldn't blame you if you're like this. I would expect a lot of ones to go through, because unfortunately, like a lot of the male influencers that you guys follow aren't that intelligence, and so they've put onto you this mindset of like, yeah, you'll grow more as a person if you just ignore everyone and you don't date girls and stuff. The truth is that you'll grow the most when you have a feminine woman by your side. That's undoubtable. It's not even close. So it's just unfortunate that this modern day like male influencer tells you to like focus on yourself and just focus on making money, as if materialism and money is the thing that's going to save you from your problems. It's I don't think that's true. Now, certainly this isn't to say that you shouldn't prioritize yourself. You should absolutely prioritize your goals, but you will make the most progress to your goals when you have a beautiful feminine woman by your side who you feel responsible for. Like, a man works best when he has the pressure of responsibility, when he has like the purpose that comes to that, when he has the rejuvenated energy of a feminine woman by his side. So that's the best case scenario. Now, Zaid Syed just said, "There's no good women now, though." I wonder how many of us agree. So Zaid just said, "There's no good women now." Type one in the chat if you agree with that, and type two if you don't agree with that. There's no good women now. Type one if you agree. Type two if you disagree. Fair amount of twos. Still quite a lot of ones. For the guys who typed two, what do you think and feel when you see these ones flying up? When you see these guys who are saying, "Yep, there's no good women." For the guys who typed twos, what do you think about that? And for the guys who typed one, what do you think about the guys who typed two? They are misled. They just don't leave their house. You know what? That's absolutely right. Goggins Inspire just said they don't leave their houses. That's actually 100% the truth. Obviously, like, I'm saying this out of like respect and love, but for the guys who typed one who genuinely believe that there's no good women around, I have to say that like this is coming because of your internet addiction. Because in the real world, when you step outside, it's like there's absolutely amazing, beautiful, feminine women and even and men around. There's very nice people out in the world, but you often don't see that when you stay stuck inside. Like, I know in my days when I just sat at home all day, I had a way worse negative opinion of the world, and especially of women, because that's all you would see at home. Like, you guys know this, right? What kind of content are we consuming? If we spend all day inside, the content we're consuming is maybe it's porn, it's Instagram, which infuriates you when you see this girl who's posting ass pictures and she makes more money than you do or something. But a lot of it is this sort of like hate content which you see from, again, male influencers, and like those ones where they interview girls, like the kind of ones that, I don't know if Sneeko does this, but like Sneeko started off his like streaming career like reacting to that sort of like hateful red pill content where like guys will go and interview drunk girls and ask them like sophisticated questions and stuff and be like, see, you're drunk and you don't know how to answer this question, you must be stupid. Or like, oh, this girl has got like such a obnoxious personality, see, women are all evil, women are all bad. Bro, when you step out into the real world, for any guy who actually is like social and like lively, you'll realize that like 99% of people are absolutely just normal when you step outside. They're not like, super amazing. They're not like, super successful, like, 99% of people that you meet. But you'll barely ever come across like a feminist who randomly will walk up to you and say, I'm a 10 out of 10. I'm a 10 out of 10. I'm the table or something. Like anyone who says that, oh, that's what women are like, is fucking deluded. You've never actually in your real world been next to a girl who's randomly just said like, she's like randomly being hateful for you or anything. All this shit just happens on the internet. So this is one, it's like these internet girls are like just, worthless. But it's also two, I'm not going to lie, that of all the guys who typed one, that's talking about you as well. For all the guys who typed one before, just take this as maybe, another lesson that I can hopefully give to you. If you found that my lessons before have been valuable, maybe this is another one for you. Your mind is warped by the kind of content that you consume, and you've watched some of these random videos which have told you like, yeah, women's standards are so high. Bro, when you really go outside, if you just go to your town center with an open mind and stand there, you will see a bunch of couples where the guy is short and ugly and he's still there with a girl that you would love to bang. You go there into the gym and you'll make eye contact with a girl and she won't just shout at you and start like screaming at you like you see in these random videos. She'll smile because you're a fucking human being and so is she. A lot of this is just literally the exact same problem that's been happening for the last few years, which you need to understand. Your problem isn't like, women on very good quality. Your problem isn't any of this stuff. Your problem is literally just content consumption. You're consuming content from like degenerate men who are trying to trigger your emotions so that you buy their products. And now the thing is, I'm doing the same thing, but hopefully I'm trying to like, turn you more into the light, into like more of these wholesome things. I speak a lot about health and mental health, and now I'm getting more into spirituality. And I believe my dating advice has always been some of the most like positive out there, because it's always been more of like a partnership rather than this, like you're just trying to get as many girls as possible and you're trying to like one up them. I personally, there's not many male influencers that I like, that I think who are worth consuming their content. Recently, I've been watching a lot more of Luke Belmar, and I think he's a solid guy. Obviously, I like First Man. There's not many that I think would actually benefit your life. I'm not gonna lie. It's unfortunate because it's like these are the influencers that are so popular these days, but I do think they're leading you astray. I was actually going to talk today. Well, it just popped into my mind. I woke up early, I was brushing my teeth, and I just randomly just thought of like how many fucking guys there are who just have started doing the Tate sign, who have started smoking cigars, and who have started drinking sparkling water. Like they've lost their own authenticity, their own personality. Tate got famous, now everyone's fucking wearing shirts and sunglasses. And it's like, how fucking, like, you call yourself a strong man, but how fucking weak are you that you suddenly out of nowhere just start to pretend like you are this other guy who you think is so fucking amazing now. I don't know. It just popped into my mind. I just thought how sad that is. Like, there's so many guys who think they're strong, high value men who will do whatever Tate says. Not just whatever he recommends, but like they'll just copy him because they think that that's like, they're cool. And now it's like every guy you see like this, they're just there like smoking cigars on their Instagram pictures and stuff. And they're going flying podcast to podcast, pretending it's deep work. A high value man is a man who provides. Just shut up, bro. How can you call yourself a high value man? How can you call yourself like a masculine man when you act like a little bitch and you change every trend that's around? Tate starts, doing some other trend. I don't know what the idea could be. Tate starts like, I don't know, he wears like an armband for his phone, how runners wear or something. And all these little internet strong, high value men will start doing it as well. Just, right now, it's very interesting that the trend for men A few years ago, it was about pure red pill degenerate how to get girls, and that's where all these guys were. For the last little while, it's been anti-degenerate. Have you seen this? Like, just type one. The new trend for this like male space is like anti-degenerate. We hate degenerates right now, right? So everyone, all these guys that you see, they're all like this. They're all talking about anti-degenerate. You've probably seen this, right? We don't want to be degenerate. Islam's really awesome, and like, oh, look at these degenerates, and LGBT is really bad. This is what all these guys are like. And as soon as this trend moves, all these guys will be the exact same. All of them. A few years ago, they were all degenerates. Now they're all talking about degeneracy is bad because Tate's talking about it. A year from now, the new trend will be fatherhood, and all these guys will suddenly just be like, "Yeah, fatherhood's really important, guys. I'm going to be a father anytime soon, bro." A year from now, the trend's going to change, and it's like these guys will just keep following the same trend over and over. And I'm sat here thinking, like, how is this masculinity? This is the weakness. And obviously I'm biased because I've been like this myself, following trends, trying to fit into this current fashionable trend. You certainly you feel more popular when you do that. For the young guys here, just type your age in the chat. Is I assume most of the guys here maybe are about 17 or 18. For the guys here who are about like 16 to 18, and yeah, there's a fair amount there. Type yes in the chat. Anyone seen that their age group now, like the meta for guys is to look like a TikTok boy? Is anyone in that kind of like realm right now? Just type yes, where it's like it's all about sort of like be like a TikTok boy, get the hair like that, or type no if you're like older and like that's not what you as a man and women in your age group kind of respect. But I assume like for a lot of the younger guys here, it's like that TikTok boy vibe is like that's like the meta for guys, right? Okay, so it's about an equal mix because we've got a fair amount of these young guys here. And for the guys who have typed no, for the guys who are a bit older, I just want you to stare at the number of yeses that are going past right now. I want you to think right now for the older guys here, think about how hard it is for some of these younger guys, but they've still got the same problems with testosterone and the shitty school system, and they've got the same problems with porn and video games. But now imagine how hard it is for these younger guys because they've got TikTok now, they've got like end stage feminism now, they've got like whatever the fuck the education system is like now. My heart genuinely goes out to some of the younger guys here who like it was very like for the older guys, it's been hard as fuck for us, right? I'm 26, so if you're about my age, we know this transformation of becoming more of a man, of getting onto self-improvement is hard as fuck. For these guys who are typing that they're 15, 14, imagine how hard it is when everyone in their class in school is on TikTok. And imagine how much, like, I can assume it for these guys, how almost like outcasted you feel of not being that guy. Is that related for the younger guys here? Is that relatable? Is that something you kind of think about of like, fuck, it's hard, and like you're the only one in your class who isn't addicted to TikTok right now? Must be fucking hard, man, honestly. I'm proud that we're having this conversation, that I'm the guy who's kind of saying it to you, that like I I don't think I can really emphasize with your pain because I've not been at that extreme level. I really think it's harder for you than it is for me. But at the same time, what I will say to kind of make you younger guys feel better, that we've got some young men here, age 14, 15. One guy said he's 8 years old, which honestly, I wouldn't even wouldn't not believe, for example. But one thing I want to say to the younger men that we have here, it is harder for you. 100%. I'll be honest to you. It was hard for me when I was in school, and for all the older guys, it was harder for us. We were in school. We were still addicted to porn. I was in school when iPhones like first came out, and that was imagine that was like a new thing because our parents never knew about it and everything. But for you guys, the younger guys, you've had iPads and iPhones since you were like what, 5 years old? Everyone type a number. How old were you when you got your first like phone device or iPad or something? How old were you when you were first using it? I was literally about 15 years old. And there's a bunch of guys typing less than 10 right now. 6 years old, 5 years old. I'm assuming, is that like an iPad? For the guys who are writing like 6 or 5, just type yes or no. Was that like an iPad that your parents gave to you just as a fucking parenting method? Like, yep, fucking Steve Jobs, you take care of this little shit. Fucking iPads, man. Type yes or no in the chat. Are you going to give your child an iPad? Type yes or no. Are you gonna put a fucking iPad in front of your child or an iPhone? Yes or no? Fuck no. Let me write no. Are you gonna give your children a phone with TikTok on? Fuck no, all caps. Are you gonna say to your boy that porn is actually healthy for him? Fuck no. How about buying a gaming console because your son really wants one? Yes or no? Are you gonna buy him one? Again. And here we are, we had all of this shit. Now, I was actually quite lucky that I didn't have an iPad growing up. Like they weren't around. I'm 26 years old. It's like I've never felt old, but obviously when I speak to guys who are half my age right now, I like iPhones came out when I was in high school, and I didn't get an iPhone till I was like, I think 14, 15 years old. Obviously, I watched porn before that, like on the on the little desktop PC and on my PS. Does anyone remember what PSPs were? I had a PSP, bro. That this was like back in the day. Like you didn't even have iPhones and shit, man. PSP fapathon, bro. I was 12 years old with a PSP, locked in the bathroom, searching for like sexy Santa. Like when you get like those sexy Santa costumes like girls wear. Like I don't know why the fuck that was like my weird fetish as a 12 years old. I went from sexy Santa like costumes for girls, and then the next thing the next phase of my fapping went from sexy Santa, which was women just wearing Santa costumes, to just glory hole. Like that was such an abrupt jump out of nowhere. I was like, what the fuck? Like, bro, I was 14 years old watching glory hole porn of like massive fucking cocks and stuff going through a hole and girls like sucking it and shit. 14 years old, bro. 14. Fuck, I was barely in puberty at the time. And this, someone just said, what's the other two books? This actually leads into it because think about what your perception of relationships is like when you've been watching porn for like 10 years. Like, what age did everyone start watching porn? Like, what age was the first time that you saw some kind of pornographic content? For me, it was like year seven, I think, or year eight. So, like 12. Let me write 12 as well. So, we've got a bunch of 13s, 12s, 11. So someone put one. Bro had an iPad in the womb, bro. 12, 13. Like this is the age where I don't know the sciencey stuff, but someone probably will type it where like you're where your brain is developing and you're starting to like develop the beliefs about the world. And not only is porn bad just because of the problem of ejaculation makes you lazy and everything, but it really fucks up your perception of relationships because you start to like be this one-dimensional guy. You start to like obviously as a young man you should care a lot about sex because you've got the testosterone and the libido, but that's like the end goal for you now instead of actually the love that you could cultivate with a girl. And obviously that love ends up for having better sex anyway. But one of the things I've learned recently from studying like some spirituality books, which is another negative of porn that no one online is speaking about. Do you want to hear about another? I don't know if you will like type yes or no. Do you want to hear about another negative of porn that like no one on YouTube has spoke about yet? It's probably gonna like fuck up your mental health once if you've still got a porn addiction. But okay, everyone's typing yes. You start to like kink the hose of your masculine energy when you are a fapper because of the habits that you get into. Now, you've probably heard of some things like the death grip. Like when you're masturbating, you're holding with like a much harder grip than it would feel if you were just having sex with a woman. But it's not only that, but the most important part of literally any endeavor that you want to do. Does anyone know like there is one habit, one thing that you should do to master the world and women? Anyone who's really into the way of the superior man will know what I'm talking about. There is one key to life There is like one major life hack that will help you with literally 100% of the things that you do, and it's breathing. Everyone's actually, I'm surprised how many people we're writing, but it's breathing. Breathing right is the ultimate life hack, and most people don't breathe. So I would ask you right now, as you listen to this, be honest, be totally honest, and maybe you can write your answer in the chat. When was the last time that you took a manual present breath? This live stream's been on for 25 minutes. Be honest, did you take one single mindful present breath, full breath, in this entire live stream so far? Just be honest. Because you know what? I'm going to write my answer. No. So for most of the people writing either no or I've just taken one now because obviously I've brought it up to you. Think about that. For 25 minutes, you didn't even breathe properly. You've done like these little peasant breaths. You've breathed like a little traumatized child would. Remember like being a little kid and getting beat by your parents and the kind of way you'd breathe, like almost silently, like reserved and stuff. And obviously that's sad as fuck when you think about it. But this is the way that we breathe, even as adults. Like we breathe literally as like this hurt, scared person. We don't want it to be like a loud breath. So, you know, the phrase that I really like, which helped me, breathe like a king. We breathe like peasants. I want you to think right now, how would a king breathe? Would a king be there, like sucking in his stomach like this? Would a king suck in his stomach? How would a king breathe? Does someone type it in the chat? How would a king breathe? Would a king hold him in his stomach because he thought that like someone would call him fat? No, he'd behead anyone who called him fat, right? A king would have a fucking bulging stomach, like not caring at all that anyone's looking at him. Confidence, full in, full out, stomach bulging with force. Like imagine how a king would laugh as well. Would a king laugh through his nostrils like how we do? And you know, when you see like a funny Instagram reel or TikTok, the way you laugh is like this, isn't it? Like you just breathe out your nose. Like does anyone like relate to that? The modern laugh, because we're so fucking conserved inside of our bodies, is literally just like we just breathe out of our nose, and that's how we laugh. We just go like, and that's the most of us will do. Little insecure, traumatized boys is like a little silent fucking laugh. How would a king laugh? If a king found something funny, how would he laugh? Would he breathe out of his nose and just go? Think to yourself, visualize a big fat king right now, big powerful fucking king. How would he laugh? How would he breathe? Do you think he'd just fucking? He'd be fucking like he wouldn't. No one would say anything to him, right? So he'd be loud as fuck. He would like literally like he'd be like this. Do you imagine he's got like some clown, like some gesture or something, you know, who does some like funny juggling thing? The king's like there like, tapping his stomach at the end of a full meal, and here we are walking past girls like flexing our stomachs, trying to impress them. That's the opposite of what we should be doing. You see, when you conserve your energy, when you kind of like hold in, like withdraw into yourself, you withdraw a lot of your energy. And you do this because you deem yourself as like a weak, low status, unsafe person. When you truly feel safe, you open outwards, you take full deep breaths which are present, and you literally feel your balls move. Anyone feel their balls move when they breathe? Like try a breath right now, and you need to breathe. I'll tell you when it happens for me, like if it does happen at all. Like you need to breathe so fully to the point that your balls kind of like pull into your body for a split second. Like it didn't even happen for that breath. Hang on, it's kind of hard to do it whilst you're sat down as well. Maybe, yeah. I barely feel it right now, bro. Maybe I've not been breathing either, but like when you do take a full deep breath, this is why things like yoga and stuff are actually very good for you, because when you do yoga and there's certain few poses that really help to like open up the front of your body and near your pelvis. What would be interesting is you can try this right now. Try this, right? So we're going to take a deep breath together. Just grab your finger and kind of line it up to where you feel the breath is right now. And when you stop feeling the breath, like, as it goes down, then just kind of leave your finger there. And then maybe you can type where about your finger is. You can say like, oh, it's like nipple level. It's 3 inches below my nipple, right? So take a deep breath and see where you can feel your breath up to. About here. Write your answer in the chat. Mine was about just an inch below my belly button. Someone said balls. That's nice, man. Good for you. So see how many, what was it right now? See how many guys have just wrote chest. I guarantee that if you wrote chest, if you could only feel your breath to your chest, I guarantee one of the fastest ways that you can improve your life is to just try to breathe deeper throughout the day. I guarantee this will genuinely change your life more than just suddenly getting another 10 pounds of muscle or another like 10K a month in your business. I know this sounds weird to say. This is the ultimate life hack out there, because when you breathe fully, it will literally make you better at everything you want to do. When you're trying to focus in work, it'll make you better. When you're trying to have a conversation with someone, it'll make you better. When you're having sex with someone, it will make you better. 100% of your life will improve when you actually just breathe fully. If you're breathing to your chest, just type 1 in the chat. Who only felt theirs to their chest and no further? Type 1 in the chat there. Let's see how many guys weren't breathing fully. And I don't blame you for this, because I was a chest breather for a long time as well. So there's a fair amount of guys, right? That's probably about 30 so far. Fair amount of guys there. So for everyone typing 1 in the chat there who only felt their breath go to their chest, what you need to, this is the way I started. So what you do is try this, put your left hand on your chest like this, and then put your right hand like just above your belly button like this, like that. Now what we're trying to do is we want to breathe in a way where our right hand moves because our stomach is moving, but our left hand doesn't move till after our right hand moves. So let me show you. So breathe. Notice how this one's moving. Then this one moves. So the breath should be the stomach. Like the stomach should fill up first, then the chest should move after that. So it's like keep on trying to like push your stomach out. You can even like mindfully like cheat a little bit. Put your hands like this and just try to almost like mindfully push your stomach out as you breathe. So you use your stomach instead of your chest, and let your body kind of like move outwards. Just be free right now. Understand that there's like chains, like restrictions that you've placed upon your body literally because of shit that happened in childhood. Like, how fucked is this? You got slapped by your dad one time 15 years ago, and because of that, you still don't breathe right. How fucked is that? So hopefully right now you're in like a safe place. So just stick your right hand on your stomach, left hand there, breathe, and then your right hand should move forward first, then your left hand, okay? Yeah, breathwork is one of the fastest. Breathwork is the most powerful self-improvement tactic out there. Of everything I've tried, there's therapy, there's drugs, there's psychedelics, there's meditation, journaling, going to the gym, trying to be more masculine, all of the self-improvement stuff you've ever looked into, all of the masculine stuff you've ever looked into. breath work is the most powerful by far. You know how? Because with breath work, you can completely change how you feel within literally 10 seconds. So notice how you feel right now. I am reading the comments, Derek. Notice how you feel right now. Try just what I'll call is like a breath of power. What we're going to do is we're going to do a loud breath together. Ready? Just breathe with intensity as if no one's listening. Just breathe with the same rhythm as me. Full deep breath in. Exhale it out. And again. Let your stomach breathe out. There. That was about 15 seconds of breathing. And notice how you feel right now. Notice that a lot of the guys have just gotten lightheaded. This is about the most oxygen you've added to your brain for a long time. Notice how you've got like an extra little bit of presence. Your mind has quietened a little bit more than usual, and you're able to listen to these words better than you were just 30 seconds ago. And also notice that as you listen to these words, your stomach has tightened again and it's not moving the same again. So again, go back to the same practice, like put your left hand on your chest, right hand on your stomach. When I'm not mindfully thinking about it, my belly just won't move. So I have to consciously think about moving my stomach. I guarantee that moment when you go and approach a girl, guarantee you won't get her number unless your stomach's moving whilst you breathe. Guarantee it. Guarantee the next time you go and speak to someone, let's say it's a friend today or a teacher or a parent, and you actually think about your stomach moving whilst you breathe, guarantee you will present yourself in such a better way that they will respect you more. It's so like powerful. Every time your stomach moves whilst you breathe, that person will like and respect you more. You know those times when someone just treats you like a little boy and they don't treat you with respect? Guarantee that's happening when you're not breathing fully. Always. It's like the smallest thing. You know why? Because it makes our power weaker. You can imagine not breathing fully kind of makes you a bit weaker. But other people pick up on this. It's not something that we're consciously aware of, but it's like, you know, those like deep evolutionary things which are just inside of us. It's one of those. It's like we can't help but even when I look into your eyes, I can't help but just like subconsciously notice you're not breathing, which means that you're weak, which means that I naturally will have to treat you worse because you're lower status than me. It's just how it works. Because if you won't breathe fully when you're stood next to me, that means you're weaker than me. That means that I'm better than you. And I'm not saying this to be horrible. This is just like what our subconscious brain thinks about. Imagine you meet a nerd who's you can tell is not breathing fully. You automatically would have less respect for him, wouldn't you? You automatically would think that you're more better than him. You're more valuable than him, right? And that's just you and him. Imagine with what it's like with women. Because if you're not breathing fully when you meet a girl, when you speak to her, when you know she's in class today or she's in the workplace, or you go and cold approach a girl, if you're not breathing fully, what does it tell her subconsciously? She's not there like looking at your stomach thinking like, you know, is it moving, is it not? But she just, her primal brain picks up on the fact that you're not breathing, which means that you're not feeling very strong right now, which means that you're probably not this confident usually. But when you're completely relaxed and your breath is full and fat, it's like it shows to her you're so in your natural state by approaching her. That shows a really good level of power. I didn't think this live stream would go to just talking about breathing, but it is like one of the most powerful things we could talk about. The 3 books, I've got to go now because my laptop's about to die, but the 3 books, the first one was The Way of the Superior Man by David Data. The second one is Attached by Dr. Amir Levine. We'll talk about these at a different time. I think quite a few of us here know about Attached. That's a very good book. Attached is actually one of the books where when I read it, I feel the best about relationships, especially being more of like a naturally anxious guy. Like if there's some guys here, like if you are somewhat anxious in relationships, Attached really gives you this extra like understanding of yourself, and it's really served me well. Then the final book, which I actually really like, is called Models by Mark Manson. And that talks a lot about being like authentic and being the normal you, not trying to like put on like any extra like, cool face or anything, but rather if you can just be who you actually really are, if you can be authentic and honest, you can actually attract someone like a girl who's actually compatible with you. Many of us guys, we've watched a lot of YouTube videos and dating advice. That means that you're going to act differently when you speak to a girl. You're going to use this pickup line and act like this and copy this person and act like Tate would. You'll speak like this and everything, and before you know it, it's like you're not even acting how you should be. Then what happens is the girl who would have actually been compatible with the real you won't like you because you're acting like someone else. How mad is that? Like this is why I love like authenticity in relationships. Like when you meet a girl, to be totally honest with like who you are, what your beliefs are, what your goals are, how you feel, to be like who you actually are, to have the body language, to not be there like trying to do like alpha male body language or some shit. Fuck me, I'm fucking huge, bro. It's to have like, not trying to do like alpha male body language or anything, but just being who you are authentically, because that way you'll end up meeting the girl who's actually compatible with you. There we go. So we'll end it here. If you want more of this advice, just type 1 in the chat. Did we like this live stream today? I actually really, really enjoyed this more. Crowbar, yes, I will respond. I'm reading these comments, by the way. So all these motherfuckers who are like, oh, he's not reading the chat, boys. It's like, I'm literally looking at you. So, yes, I am, you dumbass. Yeah. I really enjoy this a lot more. I think it just works a lot better for my brain to have this like immediate feedback, to have like, questions to bounce off of. I tried to record just a normal video this morning and I just hated it so much. I was like, it just feels so unnatural. Like I'm speaking to no one right now. It's like, I don't read YouTube comments either. So it was just like, I'm just pressing a video, pressing record and like talking about something. But this just feels so much more like, it was a lot more fun for me anyway. So if it's good for you guys, I will do some more of these. How do you feel about like a little half an hour, 45-minute daily live stream? I'm just spitting some game for you, teaching you a couple of things that could help you with the rest of today. My laptop's about to die as well, so let me just know quickly. Okay, sweet. So your lessons for today to take through the rest of today, like what we've to summarize what we've learned today for you to carry and to keep into your mind, maybe quickly write like an iPhone notes or something. Breath is the most important tool that we have, and make sure you have a full breath to the point that your stomach bulges out. Sometimes for a lot of us, it won't happen automatically. Like you won't just breathe and your stomach won't just move. So what you'll have to do is almost manually force your stomach to move as you breathe. I did that. Like I had to force it first, and now it kind of happens more naturally. And just know that when you do breathe fully and your stomach does move and you breathe, you'll be so much more powerful and respected in this world. The 3 books that have helped me in relationships is The Way of the Superior Man by David Data, Attached by Dr. Emil Levine, and Models by Mark Manson. We'll leave it there, boys. W in the chat. Let me write a W as well. There you go. I'm using Twitter more. Let me go get my Twitter link. I'm using Twitter a lot more recently. I'm really enjoying writing. So if you want to just go follow me on Twitter, like what I'm doing is almost like written full guides. Here, I'll just put there's my Twitter link there. I'm just pasting it in the chat. It's quite valuable if I'm honest. Like I'm writing not just like little fucking quotes or anything, but like big guides of like where I tell a story and I give a lesson and stuff. I'm just kind of enjoying writing, so I've just got more into Twitter there. And anything else? And if you want to join Adonis School, let me just quickly plug my little paid program as well. If you want to join Adonis School, it's the one thing that I sell. The link is right there as well. You can just go have a look. If you want to like invest in your self-improvement, you want to join more of a private community and learn from like my teachers and get away from like the big Discord server and everything, Adonis School is pretty sick. So that's everything I've got to share with you. Nice one, boys. W in the chat. Goggins Inspire, thank you for writing an actionable step for everyone as well. Nice one, boys. See everyone later. Do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. Mwah.